This was a certified banger. This was a certified banger. This was a certified banger. This was a certified banger.
Let's see, check, 1, 2. What's going on? How we feeling, guys? Whew, this thing always makes my hair look crazy. Can you guys hear me? Check, 1, 2. Just double checking. What's going on? How we feeling? Okay, just double checking on the what's that called? On the YouTube phone app. What's everyone up to? How we feeling today? Let's get started. Music reviews live. Sheesh.
This was a certified banger.
Let's go. What's everyone up to? How's everyone's week been? You know, it's been a week, a very long week, guys. Homework killing me right now. I feel that, man. Oh my goodness. It's been wild. Sheesh. Well, let's waste no time. I do want to also do a quick shout out quickly to Immute.
This was a certified banger.
For being our second Discord subscriber. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, fam. Let's get started with today. We got... First, we're going to get started with UltraBlu and Sir Kage. Lollygag. Speaking of Discord subscribers, UltraBlu is also a Discord subscriber. And if you are a Discord subscriber, we listen to the whole entire track length and give a more in-depth review in regards to the track. So we are going to be going through the 2 Discord subscriber submissions first. So shout out to UltraBlu and also shout out to Immute. Let's get it. Let me know, can you guys hear this? Hey, UltraBlu, what's good? Let me know if the audio sounds loud enough on mobile, because last time it was a little quiet. Nice.
You gon' listen to my every word. Aim for Jupiter, my bitch know I shoot for her. She do it every single way, just can't lose her. The pills just make her feel so fake, but that's on Lucifer. Putting all this money on my body, so I'm buried for some slugs and that shotty get your guts open. In the grand scheme of this, you just something that we stepping over. Put my whole team onto this, cause they get the motive. I can't ever fall from no rough weather. Went from a crawl to a big stepper. Yeah, I seen it all, this ain't much pressure. Bro, my walls feeling much better. I'm ready for the worst of it. She's thinking she deserving me. Time to sell what her purpose is. We no longer need her services. Bitch, I came up seeing red, I'm on my way back. I've been on the loot and shoot, cause they ain't straight back. Beat a 25 to life and crushing me back. Still my vibe, but not my words, nah, they can take that. This ain't clear up in my solo, just I drink that murky type of shit that make you think you straight, but you like Leo swerving. Bone on D&D, I'm in my mode, can't nobody hurt me. Think that's it, you're smoking something laced, cause I just scratched the surface. This fucking KMB, we rushing in the filler bag, shining like the stars, nothing to lose, ain't no going back.
What's good, Sam?
In the sparks, got me a drummy mag, got no time that I can waste, I ain't about a lollygag. If you ain't popping, get the feature on my face, oh, we just rock shit, fuck your brain if you ain't think so. Think that she in love, I'm with your daughter, she won't lay low. Smell the blood, sharks inside her water, we some makos. As long as I remember, I've been
Okay. What's good, Logan? Sheesh, let's go! That was UltraBlu and Sir Kage Lollygag. It's a work in progress, but that sounds fire. Nice
This
job,
was a
guys.
certified banger.
Hey, let's go. Initial thoughts, no, very catchy. Very Juice WRLD vibes. I really got, what's it called? Loved both of the vocalists on this track. Killed it. Loved the instrumental guitar. And the key chords were really nice, as well as the swing of the drums were really knocking as well. That air horn crazy with headphones. I'm sorry, UltraBlu. I got you. I can turn down the what's it called? I can turn down the hold up. I got you, fam. I'm gonna turn down the sound effects. I got you, fam. There we go. Let me know if this is better. We're still working on the mix, guys. Still working on the total mix of everything. But thank you for submitting. Super sick track. Loved the track. Loved the vocalists. Loved the instrumental. Loved the keys. The chords were really nice. The overall... Yeah, the mix is solid. I think, as far as like critiques go, if I was to say any, because the track overall was really sick, the vocals for when the second vocalist came in for the second verse there, it felt a little bit thin in comparison to yours. That could also, I don't know, did you happen to use the same microphone as you did for your verse? Did you happen to use the same microphone, or did you guys record at different spots? Like, what's the story with that? Because it does sound like there's a little bit of a discrepancy between the two. Your vocals felt a little bit more full. That could also be microphone placement, so be careful when you guys are in the booth where you guys are recording. Be sure to be at a appropriate length away from your microphone, because if there's something called a proximity effect. So the further away you get from your microphone, your vocals are going to start sounding thinner, whereas vice versa, when you start going up, sorry for headphones, guys, if you go up really close, there's going to be a lot more bass information. So use that to your advantage if you're looking to fix one or the other. Sometimes its microphone placement can really come in clutch for that. So be careful of that. If it is the same microphone, if it isn't, try to compensate a little bit with the low mids on your EQ, or even some multiband processing. A lot of the times, guys, if you are using vocal processing and whatnot, be sure to, if you are using a multiband compressor, a lot of the times you can use that as a tonal shape, similar to an EQ, where it's more of like you can use it to shape the sound more so than just a regular compressor. So that's what the real power is in using a multi-band compressor, because you could really, if one vocalist is lacking in the low mids, it's a lot more discreet sounding, raising up the low mids and with a multi-band compressor and still compressing the low mids, but it's still raising it overall, so it's taming it. So be sure, try to ASMR stream one. That was good, Immute was good. What's it called? We just started. But that's really, use the, the length of where you are to the microphone to your advantage, because that'll come in clutch. Also, as far as the track goes, like, everything overall seems nice. It's like compressed. I could tell the vocals are compressed. I feel like you can drive it even a little harder. I feel like you could do, I don't know what your vocals chain is, but I don't know, have you ever experimented with doing parallel processing? Because what I tend to do a lot of the times when I am mixing vocals is I will have the lead vocals going to one bus and compressing the lead vocals a significant amount usually, and have the background vocals in their separate bus and slam slamming that more so with a compressor, but also what I will do is I will make a send or an aux, depending on what DAW you are using. The wording is a little bit different, but if there is any confusion, feel free to message me. I'm very reachable on Discord. So what you would do is you would send it to a compressor on the side, and then slam that compressor really hard with like a really high ratio, so something like a 20:1, basically limiting at that point. And then you blend in the what's it called, the mix with the lead vocal aux, so you blend in the volume so you can adjust the taste. And usually, like, sometimes I'll have it at like minus 20 dB, so it's like barely there, but what it does is it will also thicken your vocals. So definitely experiment with parallel processing if you haven't already, but be careful, it is very easy to overdo it, so always use different speakers for references. But other than that, like, really, the instrument as well here, like, I feel like you can get it to sound a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit more, what's it called, filtered, like a little bit more lo-fi sounding. So maybe adding some sort of tape wobble effect to it could really add some more sauce to the sample itself, because it sounds a little too dry, quote unquote. I feel like it could be a little bit more interesting sonically. And love the bass. Hi-hats are sick. The professor give me all the knowledge right now. And the claps can come up in the mix for sure as well, to be a little bit brighter. So I would bring them up first, and if you feel like it still doesn't cut through as much as you want, don't be afraid to raise some of the high end of claps as well with some EQ. So but really sick, like, there's really isn't much else. Nothing else really jumps out. And I absolutely love that beat switch, by the way. That is fire. It's got that like slowed and reverb sound to it. I love it. In the low vocals, I peeped that. It's really low, it's low, but it's subtle, but it's there. But that's really it. That's all I have to really say on this track, UltraBlu. You really killed it. Nice job. Well done. Thank you for submitting, UltraBlu. Next we got Immute. Tamagotchi also, I don't know, since you weren't here, I said shout out to Immute, also just became a server subscriber, so thank you so much, appreciate you. And we'll take a listen to Tamagotchi in full length. That's because you are a subscriber, we listen to the full entire track. So let's get it. This is about to be crazy. Okay. Nice.
Because I ain't your friend, I only save a life if that's a homie that don't play pretend. Yo, bitch, you cannot stop me. These bitches tryna play. I ain't your Tamagotchi. Quit acting like I'm saying. I ain't you cannot lock me. I'm just a Halloween. You bitches tryna copy. Bruno Mars, stop it all like cat, getting romantic on these bars. Bitch, I know you lying, that just leave your ass with scars. I'll forever be the king of my own nihilistic thought. Bitch, you play with my emotions, yeah, on the daily. Yeah, we was never bros, I'll switch off to safety. I ain't gonna lie to you, you possess me. You really finna die, your skills don't impress me. Take a shadow round, bye, bitch, boom, boom, die. Yeah, nursery rhymes ahead of its time again. Just like you said, just ride it with ease and win.
Hot damn. Interesting, both of these had beat switches, like the slowdowns.
Now we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Sheesh. Damn, okay.
This was a certified banger.
Okay, guys. Damn, we brought our A game. Oh, holy crap. Damn, guys. Immute and UltraBlu. Holy crap. Both of you guys really brought the A game this time around. Holy crap. So, how long, my question to you is, how long did that take to make that video? That's my question to you. How long did that take? Because that is nuts. Well done. Very well done.
This was a certified banger.
Let's go. So, initial thoughts, obviously love the guitar sample that you use. The vocals nice and up front. Everything feels very glued together. I know Immute is also a mixing engineer. So, he really knows his stuff when it comes to doing the compression and whatnot. Everything felt very clean. Like the bass, like even on these headphones, like very nice and clean. And the kick drums cut through, which is always the hardest thing to do, is to make sure that those kicks and your kick and bass work well together. So did a very great job on that. 2 months? That took 2 months? Okay, so I'm gonna give you a different critique. Bro, you gotta promote your music more. You gotta promote this more. I think that's, I'll go more into that after I go through the technical stuff. But so there really isn't much to say as far as the mix goes. What I could say is maybe the vocals can be up just like a hair, and especially when there's that singing part, the chorus section here. Where is it? It is like around. It was right. There was a singing part. Well, during the singing part of the hook section, I wish it happened more than once. I feel like the song structure would be the biggest takeaway from this, is that I wish the song was more structured like a song, because it felt like the sections were a little bit random. So I wish that singing part with the vocals that you had going on, it was like dun dun dun. You were like, I'm gonna find it. Right here. That part. I wish that happened more than once. I wish that was your hook and that happened earlier in the track as well, so it had a little bit of structure to it. So that's one thing, and I would also add a little bit of air to those vocals as well, a little bit of 12K or higher, just to give it some more breathiness and to make it a little bit more distinguished from the other sections as well, because this is definitely the most stacked section of the whole entire track. But I feel like this track would go from a 9 to a 10 if you made that hook section happen again. So it's at least 2 times in the track. So, but there's really not much to say. The mastering sounds clean. Like, I don't hear the limiter like fighting it. It sounds clean. So there isn't really much to say other than the main takeaway from this is what I would say is track promotion. This track is too good to be sitting with this animated video that you spent 2 months on, mind you. You spent 2 months on an animated music video for it to have 241 views, man. This could have way more than that. We both know that. Like, I think that really that's the takeaway is when you release a track, the work for it doesn't stop until the next record. Keep working your records, guys. Like, don't just put it out and not really promote it, because that's like what's going to happen is that your tracks, they're not going to get the light of day, and you're going to stay more underground. And this track is way too fire, and same with the UltraBlu track. I know that one, what's that called? You said that it wasn't done, but this should have like way more streams on it. And the way to do that is you need to be very consistent and have a certain branding when it comes to your social media. Really, you need to just really don't be afraid and find ways to really promote and study how people are promoting their records on all these different social media platforms, like your TikTok. And even if you hate TikTok, like it is what it is. That's what it is these days. So TikTok, Instagram, learn Reels, learn X/Twitter, learn all these different platforms, and really try to maximize your releases. So if you spent 2 months on an animated music video, you should also spend 2 months promoting it every day, because you put in that much effort to begin with. You know, I feel like, and playlists are so genre based, really stifles creativity. I agree. That's why when I say these things, like, don't necessarily focus on what your playlist, like what to put your song on a playlist, but focus more on figuring out what is your fan base, who is your fan base, where is your fan base, and really target those areas, because that will get you a lot more success than any playlists or trying to like shoot for big playlists will, because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, they have a lot of bots on the playlists and it's not worth anything. So and you don't want fake streams, because okay, let's just say you have 100,000 streams on a song. Who cares if it's fake? That's not helping you. You know, like, what's helping you is actually building a fan base. That's what helps you. 10 real people are a hell of a lot better than 100,000 fake people. So that's really it. So take 2 months, like the same amount of time that you spend on producing and making all these animated videos, you should be using to also promote your records, make social media content, and find what your branding is. And that will take, I'm telling you, that will definitely make a significant difference in your streams. But that's really all I had to say. Thank you for submitting. This should have 100 times, like 1,000 times these streams minimum. So really, thank you for submitting. Holy crap, guys. And we are starting strong. And we have another one. Please Don't Save Me, mastered. Haamid Harris. Let's take a listen. This is the first of the non-Discord subscribers, so it will be a 1 minute and 30 seconds from here on out. Let's get it. Of course, Immute. And of course, if anyone has any questions, also sorry for pausing yours, Haamid Harris, but if anyone ever has any questions, feel free to reach out to me too. Like, a lot of the times, like on the Discord, like I will go out of my way to answer questions or anything like that. So I'm always open to like helping people out and whatnot. So on that note, next we have Haamid Harris. Please Don't Save Me, master. Let's take a listen. Let's get it. I realize I can't pronounce your name, but I realize that you're in the chat. What's good? 18, the Illy 18, I think. Nice. Love the melody. What's good, Stormy? This is fire. That is the 1:30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Haamid Harris, Please Don't Save Me. Wow, what a track. I love the melody that you had going on for the when the track dropped. That was nuts. Like for the vocals, and also just overall, like it says that you performed the guitar on the record as well, and killed it, man. Seriously, really cool. Well, we're starting really crazy today. We've got some bangers in the. And absolutely love this kind of sampled feel that you with the played guitar that you did. It sounds so clean, and these like cool like kind of arpeggiated synths in the background were really nice to hear as well. The main things that I would say as far as critiques go is when the bass comes in, it is a little bit much. So I would turn down the bass a hair, just a little bit, to make room for your vocals, because your vocals are very drowned out and they feel very thin. So you want to make sure that your vocals can cut through, because if they don't, it's going to be really hard to really make out what you're saying, because I couldn't understand anything, but I could tell the melody was fire. So I really wish that the vocals had a little bit more clarity, a little bit more oomph. So I would definitely bring your vocals up in the mix, make them a little less reverby, and also what I would do is add a little bit more low mids, because it sounds very thin. That could also be on the, just as far as your microphone or whatnot. I don't remember exactly what you said as far as what microphone you have. It could be that, it could be a plethora of different things, but try to really get some more oomph out of your vocals. But really, other than that, there really isn't much for me to say. It was really a sick record. Holy crap, guys. We were trying. I used my phone mic. Okay, that explains everything. I mean, you gotta either go to the studio. No, what's it called? I love people that just work with what they got. No excuses. I love it. But I would highly recommend either going to a studio if you can, or investing in like a cheap setup. So I always say, what's that called? Like, I could always recommend like certain gear if anyone was having any questions as far as like if they need gear recommendations at different price points. Let me know as well, and I got you. So definitely, these songs are too good to not have the high, at least like a budget microphone, at least something, you know. It sounds too fire. But thank you for submitting, Haamid Harris. Let's go on to the next one. We have Sir Kage and UltraBlu again, but this time Sir Kage was the one who submitted, so it's Sir Kage's song. So we will take a listen. Very ambient.
Path in front of me, watch the thick smoke blow in a cold breeze. Look at my past, it's under me.
Got some Jersey Club, okay.
How the fuck I'm gonna laugh when I can't breathe? After that bag, trying to go green, roll blown like a staff.
Lil Ben, the queue is here. It's on the top here.
I'm not the guy I'm meant to be. About to retire the industry, rebuild from the ground, make it all right. So high up in the sky, we could fly kites. Ain't a lie, I get down at the first time. Up in my mind, out of sight, but about mine, running out of time. Trying to find a way to day life, all out of line, but you there, so I feel fine. Confident in my state of bliss, and my pills are mixed to this. Taking pics, you taking vids. Well, I'm still your friend, because in the end, they got love to give. Bitch, I made the list, I'm a favorite pick. Putting all my chips, coming out with hits. You shot and missed, you can try again, but best pitch a 10, cause I came to win.
Don't know why you wanna leave. One day I'm gonna be a damn prodigy, and if I don't, then we'll see. One day you'll feel that apology. I need out this place, can't bring myself to that change. Through all these stressful days, I'll just smoke some to the face. I feel left at the back door on a third benzo, but I need.
So that was the 1:30 mark. Thank you for submitting, Sir Kage, featuring UltraBlu on the record. Thank you for submitting. Super sick track. Love the Jersey Club vibes. What's it called? Hits home for me. You know, I'm actually, a fun fact, I'm from Jersey, so that's Love hearing tracks with the Jersey club vibes. Also, absolutely love the ambient feel in the beginning. Super sick, and it sounds nice and wide, atmospheric, and when the drums come in, it was very satisfying. The vocally driven, so really sick. Work on that.
Gotta keep going forward.
And the vocals are nice and up front as well. In the mix.
I can't breathe. After that bag, trying to go green. Roll blown like a staff and it's all Keith. I'm stuck on those in the sky, could fly kites. And a lie, I get down at the first time. I've been in my mind out of sight, but about mine, run out of time.
Really, there isn't really much to say as far as the mix goes, other than the vocals could be a little bit brighter. I feel like there's just a little bit of high frequency information that is missing. So I wish there was just a little bit brighter regarding the track. And other than that, like the drums are hitting.
I'm not the guy I'm meant to be.
The kicks are hitting, everything is there. So really, I would just make the vocals a tad bit brighter. And as far as like, I don't know if you're going for something that's more melodic, but I feel like you could switch up the melody a little bit as well and get a little bit more creative with the different flow and whatnot halfway through to really keep the interest of the listener. But other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting, Sir Kage. Really not much to say on this one. Thank you. What's it called? To address, yeah, I do have the queue up here. I know that, what's it called? I realize that you can't see the names now, but yes, you guys are on here. So I have seen everyone in here that I recognize. I have seen their tracks, so. So next we have Futures by Beanie Productions. Let's take a listen. And of course, Haamid Harris, I just peeped your note. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I always love the creativity in the sound design. So that is the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting.
This was a certified
Sick track, Beanie Productions, Futures. Love the beginning. What's it called? I think it's consensus. Love that kind of really like empty sounding, what's it called, percussion, and especially when it comes in with the guitars, with the palm muting guitars, and the keys were really nice to hear as well on the track. And then when it kind of did a transition. Did you play the guitar just by any chance? It does sound like it is real. So if it isn't real, you're really faked. What's it called? You really convinced me on it. As far as critiques go, what I would say is I wish that these drum sound selection were just knocking a ton more. Oh no, I did not play it. Well, kudos to you on that. Sick. I wish that doof was more like, had a lot, like was more cinematic sounding and had a lot more bass frequency, so like and some more reverb on these different elements just for the beginning part, because that'll help, like, because there's a lot of empty space there. You kind of want to fill it up with some reverb, I would say. There's a little bit on the on that kind of like snare type sound. There's a lot of reverb on that, but I would say you can even go, you can have really cinematic hits on that. And then when the keys come in, the keys sound a little bit too fake, I would say. You can get them to sound a little bit warmer, I would say. Maybe like doing some EQ and maybe lowering some of the highs to make it feel a little bit warmer. And maybe adding, when it's just the guitar, there's a lot of background noise, so I would try to get rid of that. There's a free plugin that I keep mentioning called Goyo. It's Goyo. It's fire for getting rid of background noise, so try that out. If it doesn't work, then I could recommend some other options, but really sick track. So really, I would say maybe adding some percussive elements as well to those emptiness sections, like when it's just the guitar, just to also help it move, would definitely help as well. But other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting. Yeah, I've had 3 hours of sleep in 4 days. Oh God, go to sleep, man, go to sleep. Oh God, good God. Sleep is so important, guys. Good God. Oh. On that note, next we have Believe in Ghosts, Spacehound Records demo. Shout out to Aster. Let's take a listen. Love the chords. Aster, what? Woo! Damn.
This was a certified banger.
Okay, Aster, I felt I got a little bit of goosebumps when it transitioned to that. Whoo! Okay, Aster, I see you. Whoa. Oh my God, the improvement on the mixes, bro. Oh my God. Whoo! Aster, where do I begin? That track was sick. Chords, structure-wise, very interesting. It kept the, what's it called? Kept my interest throughout the whole entire thing. Your vocals were nice and up front. Like, this is like a world of difference than what I've heard. Like, I've heard some really good stuff from you, but this is like a significant improvement. I don't know what you did, Aster, from between the last time that I heard your stuff and this time, but I think you said something about that you went to quantize the drums this time around, because usually you don't quantize things, if I'm correct. Aster, if you're here, correct me if I'm wrong, but oh my goodness, like, even the stacks are so clean. That's nuts. That is nuts, man. Holy crap. Really, there isn't really much for me to say. I'm saying that a lot today. But, like, super... I could say that you could even raise your vocal up like a hair more, like a dB or two, just to pop out a little bit more. That's really it. And you can lower the reverb like a hair as well, like a hair, like the reverb send, or if you have it like on the direct track, like lower the mix a little bit. So bring a little bit more of the dry signal through. That's it. Fantastic job, Aster. Wow. That honestly, like, huge improvement. Since the first time that I've been hearing your stuff, Aster, like, this is like drastic change. So please continue. Wow. Next we have My Beats Are Trash, hard experimental trap type beat, Civil War. Let's get it. Actually, before I said, what's it called? Yeah, no, before let me address, I think I saw UltraBlu. I had to step away for a sec. I'm sad I couldn't tell you to skip my verse like Kage's submission. I did see that. I'm sorry, man. Dang. What's it called? If we have time at the end, I don't mind skipping for what's it called? For Kage. Damn. Damn. Okay.
This was a certified banger.
Whoa, you guys are coming crazy today. Wow. You guys are coming crazy today. Wow, that was nuts. Initial thoughts, like, obviously love the sample. The drums were knocking like crazy. God damn. Like, that 808 pattern in the swing is nuts. Like, really, honestly, like, my only critique is to finish it. Like, there really isn't much to say here. Like, love it. Like, the drums are kicking, everything is where it needs to be, volume wise. And you're not losing any punch with the distortion either, with the kicks and the bass. There's tons of knockage.
Supreme knockage.
All I gotta say is, bro, like, get an artist on it and finish it. That's all I have to say. Honestly, this was nuts. Even the cool, like, love the sample in the beginning. Like, I would love to hear it finished. That's it. Thank you for submitting My Beats Are Trash. Again, I've not heard one beat from you that's been trash. Love the name. But let's go. Holy crap, we got people writing in the chat too to your beat, bro. Holy crap, that was nuts. Next we had I believe, okay, yeah, they sent a WeTrack. I didn't want to forget the order. So they sent their file here. This is someone from the, I believe, the Discord server as well. Their name was, forgive me if I'm wrong. Let me get it real quick. Let's see, MC LIQUO. So sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but here we go. We're gonna take a listen. Let's get it. If I remember correctly, they produce on their phone. give it 3 seconds because it started late. There we go. That was the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting.
This was a certified banger.
Wow, considering that was produced on a phone, holy crap. Well done. I wish I had a title for the track here, man. But it's all cool. Love the track. Love the vibes. Very like what's it called? Very fun. It builds very satisfyingly. And the drums also, the swing was really sick, and the overall vibe and the melodic elements that you had were really nice and cohesive. Nothing was out of key. Everything was nicely well together. Really, the only critiques that I have for it is the mix itself. So as far as the critiques go for the record, what I would say is I would turn down your snare drum, the snare drum sound that you had. So that sound that you had on every third beat, I would turn that down because it's loud compared to everything else in the track, because I don't know exactly if you're mixing on headphones or earbuds or whatnot, or just your phone speaker, but what's that called? I would just turn down that. I would also say that everything overall, like those percussive hits that you had come in, those could be brought up in the mix a little bit to really cut through and really say this is the next part. So that's what I would say as far as the mix. And I would also say love the maybe add some more high frequencies into those elements as well. So use an EQ, like preferably one with some analog color to it, and raise up some of the highs and some of those synth elements that you had going on. Overall, what I would say is the overall track could use some mixed glue compression, and it would really glue everything together as far as the elements go, and really have it kind of swinging. And this type of track could really benefit if you sidechain the kick and the snare to the other elements, the ambient elements, to really just give it that pumping feel to the track. So what I would recommend doing, I don't know what DAW you were using, but try side chaining your kick and your snare to your melodic elements other than the actual melody, like more like the chords in the atmospheric stuff in the background to really give it some oomph. And what would happen if you do those things, it's a nice trick to be able to do, because it will make your kicks and your snares feel like they are perceived louder. Not necessarily, they don't have to be, they aren't louder, but they're perceived louder because everything else is ducking. So in that bass synth, you can get a little bit more out of it. I think you can maybe distort it a hair, like maybe just the high frequencies in the bass to leave the sub frequencies alone and clean. But other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting. Let's get it. So next we have Free Weekend Drake type beat, Xaleid Take Care type beat, V2 by the M16. Let's get it. I believe this is someone who hasn't submitted before. I could be wrong. Let's take a listen. Woman in 30 Mark, thank you for submitting M16 Weekend Drake type beat. Let's get it. Wow, love the ominous feel to it. It was really sick, man. What's it called? Love the kind of bell sounds that you had going on in the track. The drums that were knocking. The kind of organy sound that we heard was nice as well. The way that and I heard those like kind of like crowd chant things as well. So what's it called? Really sick track overall. As far as critiques go, is what I would say is, even though I know it is hard, but what I would say is when you have ambient type of elements in the background, make sure that they are in key, because sometimes it is hard to hear actual notes in certain things. So like when you have these you have like these like bells that are like in the background, and it's a little bit out of key, so when everything comes in, it feels like it's clashing frequency wise, and that it's really fighting your melodic elements a lot. You just hear the it's like in the background, but really, and right here as well, like these things, these kind of wind chimey type elements are also out of key, so just be careful just to try to make sure that your keys are very cohesive, like that everything is in the same key. And sometimes, like, always double check, because sometimes samples will be labeled the wrong key, so just keep that in mind, because a lot of keys share very similar notes. So a lot of producers, they'll label it the wrong key if you're using samples. So just always double check yourself to make sure that it is in the correct key. But other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting M16. Let's get it. Next we have we got Now Always and Forever by Stormz.Melody. Let's take a listen. Let's get it. Got some bangers today. Okay, I see you. That is the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Stormz.Melody, Now Always and Forever. Sick track. Wow. Loved the guitar vibe. Super, like the vocal melodies were crazy. So kudos to you on that. I absolutely loved the progression of the track. The overall what's that called? Like the progression and the drums that were very well selected. Did you happen to play the guitar? That's another question that I have for you. I think I saw that you were in the chat. So, did you play the guitar? Like, what's the story as far as the track goes? I would love to know. And like, this part sounds very full. And as far as like the mix goes, like the guitars and everything are nice and up front. The drum progression sounded nice, and when the strings came in, it was a nice touch as well. I didn't really hear any sort of discrepancy in the mix on that. No, I didn't. Oh, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. All good. So as far as critiques go for the record, what I would say, since you didn't do the instrumental, I won't really touch on that aspect. But I know from the last one you did say that you are recording on a phone microphone. I highly recommend investing in a, what's it called, in a setup. I always recommend that. I know I could recommend something for I always recommend getting things used. So I would always I could literally recommend, as far as like, I don't know exactly where everyone is from, but I'm from the United States, so I could reference the price points as far as here goes, but I could recommend a decent solid setup used for about $250 US. So if anyone is interested in that kind of thing, let me know. Definitely save up for a setup, because that will take these records like from here to here, I'm telling you. Like, because the vocals, they sound very thin, and there's only so much you could really do about that, unfortunately, because you are working with a phone. But what you could do, like, there is a nice video that Reed Stefan put out, so if anyone who does record on their phone wants to try to increase the quality of their recordings, or they want to try to like get the most out of it, there's a video that I could eventually link, that Reed Stefan makes. He's it's like a puppet YouTuber for music production. If you haven't checked him out already, he's phenomenal. That I could recommend, and he literally has I don't know if it's him or Kara, his wife, but one of them have a video that goes over like mixing phone speakers. So definitely check that out. But really, melodically, it was really sick. Loved the melodic, and your voice sounds very great on these type of records, like these kind of very like broken down, not so much production going on type songs. It really shines through. So I love the the track selection as well. The last thing that I would say is just be careful of timing at certain times, because when you're doing riffs like that, when you're doing like really complicated riffs, and I know it's fun to kind of flex those kind of vocal chops and whatnot, but be sure that when you are doing your vocal riffs, that you make sure that they are locked in with the timing, because it's very easy to kind of lose track of where the beat is when you are doing these complicated rhythms with these riffs. So just be careful of that. But other than that, like, really sick track. Would love to hear it. Invest in a microphone, please. For your own benefit, that would be sick. But thank you for submitting. Let's get it. Oh, BandLab. Yeah, you should be able to do that with BandLab. Totally fine. We're also said, but I think that, yeah, exactly. Like, everyone is at a different point in their musical creation. What's that called? Journey is what I like to say. So there's always ways that all of us can improve. I can improve. Everyone here can improve. And I feel like as long as we're always actively seeking improvement, that we're all going to just keep seeing improvement. And I think that's the most important thing, is to hold each other accountable for our improvement, if you know what I'm saying. So I think it's just, as long as you just keep at it, just eventually you're just going to get exactly what you're looking for. It's just the consistency and the work ethic. That's really where it boils down to. But let's take a listen. We got Sky Citadel by Icylemon. Let's take a listen. Let's get it. Definitely hear the title already. Wow. That was the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Sky Citadel Icylemon.
This
wow.
was a certified banger.
Like, seriously, guys. Wow. Like, these tracks today, everyone, like, give yourselves a round of applause. Holy crap. You guys have submitted some crazy records today. Wow. I loved this. It was very, like, I pictured, like, exactly what you're showing me here. And it almost has like almost like I can see like a kitchen, almost like I can, like, with the different like type of elements. I guess when the accordion came in, that kind of gave me that kitchen vibes. But really loved the track. It put me in a headspace where I could see where the kind of production, it kind of shows you things. You know, certain things are very visual sonically, if that really makes any sense. I know it's hard to explain, but sometimes, like, when you listen to music, sometimes you kind of just visualize certain things. And I definitely was able to see the vision with the Sky Citadel. Definitely sounds like a movie soundtrack. So, like, I definitely would recommend, if you aren't pitching this for movies, like, definitely do it. And even like with the sound effects, like the wind, and then you had the crowd kind of ambiance going in the background. Like, I love when tracks utilize sound design in, like, that's outside of the norm, outside of just using just your kick snares and patterns and whatnot. Sometimes it's really cool to add some wind sounds. Sometimes it's really cool to add like as weird as it sounds, like I've added like crickets, well, I've added like bird flapping in tracks. I've added like what's that called, like locust swarm things. Like, get really creative with your sound design, guys. Don't be afraid to experiment with different things if you're looking to really like experiment with different and really get more like unique sounds out of your production. And I think you really did that, nailed it with this one. Really, the only thing what I would say is the mix overall could feel a little bit fuller. It feels like everything could just have a little bit more low mids overall. It feels a little bit thin, and what I would say is the piano feels a little bit too bright. I feel like you can get it a little bit warmer sounding. Other than that, really, there's really not much to say as far as the mix goes. Really cool, love it. Thank you. Shout out to Icylemon. Let's get it. Next we have Alcatraz by Alcatraz Studio. Oh, I'm sorry, Alcatraz Over. There we go. Featuring Rambunk. Let's take a listen. That was the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Alcatraz Over featuring Rambunk. Wow, super sick. Love the kind of dance hall feel to it. It's really funny because I just mixed two tracks that were very similar vibe to this right before this session. So, what's it called? I love this genre. It's so much fun, and you can get really creative with the mix, I think. So, As far as critiques go, what I would say is the track overall super sick. Loved the 4 on the floor feel. Loved the kind of like keys that you had going on. Really, the sonically speaking, all of the instruments were right on the money, and especially with those kind of like plucky type things in the background, very dreamy sounding. And the snare drum, and when the bass comes in, it's very satisfying. And the vocal melody, even in the chat said it's very, very what's that called? Catchy overall. Also, happy birthday to your grandma, by the way. Shout out to your grandma. Just from the chats. What's it called? But as far as critiques go for the record, what I would say is the overall track could feel fuller. Your vocals sound very thin. I don't know what processing you were doing, but definitely bring some of those low mids out, because it's very thin in comparison to the track. And your vocals could just be spread out more. Like, I feel like they're just very, they as far as spatially, like, they aren't really taking as much sonic space as they should be for a track like this. Like, for a track that's as empty melodically as this, which is not a bad thing, that's a good thing, you want your vocals that are the melodic elements to really take up most of the frequency space. So you need to really have your vocals up front and center and really taking over the spatial effects. So be creative with like your reverb send, and also like don't be afraid to like get real crazy with your delays too. Like, to really experiment with like different timings, like even like a dotted quarter note delay to no, like in automating certain delay times to really spread out the spaces in between your vocals. Like, that could really help. And just overall, like the melodic stuff could be a little bit more brought up, I would say, and your vocals definitely need to be brought up and taking a lot more frequency space. That's really all I have to say. Really sick track. Thank you for submitting. And also, actually, last thing before I forget is make sure with your retune speed for your auto tune, turn it down a smidge, because it is a little bit too fast. So you hear those wavering sounds every now and then when your auto tune is that. Or what I like to do personally is that I will literally like Melodyne the notes. I don't know if you have Melodyne, but if anyone, I would highly recommend getting Melodyne. It is awesome as far as like vocal like pitch correcting. So I use Melodyne into auto-tune. So I would, anytime your vocals do those wavery things, I would just use like a pitch shifting thing, or lower the retune speed, automate the retune speed so it's slower, or use Melodyne and just lock in those notes. That's really all. Thank you for submitting. Let's go. Next we have See the Sun. We got TigerBlood Studio. Shout out to TigerBlood Studio. Let's take a listen. D-delay saves my life sometime. Yeah, it's a fire delay. Okay. That is the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Wow, that is very creative. Wow, I loved that one, TigerBlood Studio. I think that's one of my favorite ones I've heard from you so far. Really nice work. I loved the kind of stutter effects that you did on the vocals, and I did not expect you to just start screaming like that. So I am all for it. I'm a metalhead, so I'm all for that. Your vocals, really cool spatial type effects that you had going on as well. Like I heard what you were, I peeped what you were doing, what's it called, with the panning and the widening there. Super sick work. And I love the little doom 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 was a nice kind of transition thing. What I would say is, as far as critiques go, it's very interesting harmonically. Like I don't want to say that it isn't out of key necessarily, but it's very I think that it's more of the vibe. But personally speaking, some of the chords like rub a little bit the wrong way, but I think that might be what you're going for, so I wouldn't change that. But that's just what my initial thought when I heard it was. But after listening to it again, it sounds totally fine. But really the main takeaway, what I would say, is when you're doing that screaming part, like your instruments need to be knocking way harder, like way more distorted, like way more like in your face, like gritty kind of synths that are going on. Like it needs to be going crazy there in the instrumental. I think it needs some crazy distortion, like super saw synths, like with like some white noise layered on it, so it's like going crazy. And maybe even some 16 notes on the what's it called, the hi-hats, so it's like going real fast. Like I would even experiment with double timing the hi-hats, honestly, before that. So like go like crazy with your hi-hats. Love the sound selection though, as far as like the kick and snare goes. That's really it. That's all I have as far as critiques. Like definitely like that track needs to be knocking with the instrument wise. Like I don't think it's the mix. I think it's just you need something else in there to really just drive it home. Like something that would take the place of something that's like a heavy guitar with a loud distortion. I would recommend like a really like distorted synth. But really cool track. Thank you for submitting. Let's get it. Wow. You guys are killing it today. Holy crap. Next we have DJ Music, Serenade. Let's get it. The records are insane. Boom. So that's the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you, DJ Music. Let's get it.
This was a certified banger.
Thank you for submitting. What's it called? Sir Kage, I got you, fam. I said that I was gonna listen to the rest at the end. I got you. What's it called? Thank you for submitting DJ Music Serenade. Let's get it. Wow, what a sick track. What I would say, love the guitars. I could peep that it is Omnisphere. So, what's it called? I could peep that you used Omnisphere for those sounds. So really cool. I peeped that. As far as critiques go for the record, what I would say is the bass note that you had going on. The bass was really hard to hear what you were saying. What the bass was doing, like harmonically. I think it could be the bass sound itself, or it just might be too low of an octave for it to really cut through. So that's what I would say as far as the bass goes. And overall, I would say definitely still with the sound selection. The sound selection definitely does sound on the fake side, so definitely need to. I would definitely look up some videos on how to really get the most out of VST pianos. Like, I don't know if you ever mess with like the sustain pedal with pianos, but that's what I would recommend toying around with. So that's what I would, as far as the piano goes, mess with the sustain pedal. And overall, like the drums could be knocking more overall, so definitely look into like some like drum bus compression, or like overall just like the overall balancing. Always use reference tracks, guys, when you are doing productions for the volumes of things, and always make sure to check your metering and your master to make sure that it is loud enough, because like you want your tracks to be peaking at a certain point, or else they're going to overall sound like they're a little bit on the quiet side. So I always recommend everyone to just do a little bit of research and just check out some like mastering tutorials, just to really gather how to maximize the loudness or perceived loudness of your music. But really, thank you for submitting DJ Music. I hope that's helpful. Let's get it. Next we have Tribulations by Zoetic. Let's get it. Okay, I see you. So that's the 1 minute and 30 mark. Let's get it. Thank you for submitting Zoetic Tribulations. Let's get it. Analog style tech house song I've made using Acid 5 synthesis and heartfelt chorus. Much love and joy. Hell yeah. No, that was sick. Definitely loved the overall build that was happening. Was nuts. That kind of music boxy kind of sound, and the chords going to that nice major kind of turn of events was really sick as well. Like, this was honestly like super banger. And those synth patches were really sick as well. And those reverb sends were really cool to hear as well. And the vocals were nice and up front. Let me know, was that a sample for the vocals? Like, was that someone that you did? Was that you that did the vocals? Because the vocals were really nice. They sounded huge, and they really, cut through the mix. I don't know if it was like a... What I would say as far as critiques go was I wish that the kick drums didn't come in until beat 1 there, because to me they felt like they came in a little bit early. Like wait, 2, 3, 4, kick, 2, 3, 4. So that's what I would say as far as critiques for the arrangement. And overall, the kicks could also be punching a little bit harder. Love it. And just overall, some of the drum balancing, like volume-wise, could definitely be tweaked. So that's what I would say as far as critiques go. Definitely need some of those drums to knock a little bit more. But other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting, Zoetic. Let's get it.
This was a certified banger.
So quick note, Sir Kage, if you are here in the future, we do have a separate form in the Discord server. That's why I may have gotten confused. So if you are a Discord subscriber, in the future we have a channel specifically for premium submissions. So be sure to submit, if you are a subscriber, submit through the, what's that called? Through the premium submission form instead. So that, what's it called? I always take those and put them first. So just in the future, just to not have any sort of confusion or whatnot, just submit through the premium form submission in the future. That's all. So next we have Running Man, IHasFins. Let's get it.
IHasFins. Can you swear? Okay. Huh? Okay. Nah. Okay. Big bad bands, holding hands, that's a lie, yo. I was never broke, I just melted cause we high, yo. Call me J. Cole, open books, and I dry, yo. Now that other song, open notes, and I dry. Screw stick, I got nuts with a dice. Play, don't get taken, I just buy. Ain't no bluffing, tryna switch it for a buy. Okay, hey, don't bullshit. Hey, I know the only way is go to Djey. Really just tryna get rich, crunching the numbers and doing the math. You staying in the humble abode, we got on the road to stay on the path. Hitting the ball at my foes, drop at the heat and get on the track. Hit me, I don't really care, you already know I'm getting the rack. All of the others are fair, you think I'm a play, I don't give a crap. Some people think that I drop from the top cause I ride on one now. Rapping just got me away out of mine. I need text female, send me email. Got it because she just saw it. Some people just been out of luck. I can never run from a buck. 100 bands, living in America, so please get a run, man.
Okay, IHasFins. Damn, it's getting crazier and crazier each time I hear you, bro. Wow, you guys be submitting some bangers today. Holy crap. Thank you for submitting IHasFins, Running Man. Let's go. As far as critiques go for the track, loved the swing of the bass. Your vocals were really sick. Love what you were doing. Like, and the stacks, like this is the most like produced I've heard from you so far, is what's it called, lack of a better term. Like, this is definitely like another huge improvement from what I've heard last time. So you are getting better at a very fast rate, IHasFins. Like, seriously.
Okay. Big bad bands, holding hands, that's a lie, yo. I was never broke.
Like, that bass is knocking. And what I would say as far as critiques go, I wish that the snare drum was hitting as hard as the bass was, because it kind of loses a lot of its, like, if it had like a like, it's really low in the mix. I think it's a clap. I would raise up the clap significantly so it's a lot higher. That's what I would say. That's the main critique. What I would say as far as the instrumental, like, love the knocking of the drums. I would also raise up your background vocals a hair. Like, they sound nice and compressed. I would raise them up a hair, especially where is it? There's one towards the end. There's like a part towards the end where there was backgrounds definitely need to come up like a significant amount, like probably like 3 to 5 dB, I would say, like rough estimate, that I would raise your background vocal stacks up even more. But really, seriously, really nice work, IHasFins.
This was a certified
Thank you for
banger.
submitting. Let's get it. Next we have 6 Rings Swisho. Let's get it. Discord real quick. These beats are getting crazy today. Check this. Hold on. So that was 6 Rings Swisho. Let's get it.
This was a certified banger.
Damn. Okay. No, that was knocking like crazy. Thank you for submitting. Wow. Those 808s were really punching. Wow. Like whoever produced that was like going ham. Like, damn. Okay. So as far as like critiques go, what I would say is the vocals are very quiet in comparison to the instrumental. So I would raise your vocals up in the mix. That would definitely help a lot. And the mix, the overall mastering overall feels a little bit quiet. So I would also raise up the mastering. What's it called? If it does have any mastering processing. So just be careful of that. But really, that's really it. Vocals need to come up for sure, and the mastering definitely needs to be more like glued together because it feels like it is quiet compared to the other submissions. But thank you for submitting, Swisho. Let's get it. Also, I do want to apologize to Sir Kage because I did not realize and I was never notified that you were a server subscriber. So thank you. I appreciate
This was a
you.
certified banger.
I had no idea. It never notified me. So we will take a listen to your track now. So let me pull that up. In the meantime, how has everyone's week been? Just in the future, anyone who does have a Discord subscription, please use the premium. There is a separate forum for you guys, just so that to make sure that you guys get heard. So in the what's it called, in the Discords, there is a channel, a category that says subscribers, right underneath where it says claim your roles and right above where it says announcements. So it says premium music submissions. So there's a form in there. Use that form instead, because that'll make sure that your tracks will be seen. So just for the future, I'm at Sir Kage here, but I do appreciate you and apologize for not seeing that. So we're going to pull up Sir Kage and we're going to take a listen to the full track. So in the meantime, how was everyone's week? Any new bangers we got coming on? Also, Logan, how's that washing machine track going? Let's see. I want to know how that washing machine track's coming out. There we go, I got it. So here we are. We will take a listen to the full track. Apologies. Let's take a listen. Let's get Sir Kage up. We got a right shot. Hey, let's go. I couldn't tag you, Sir Kage, so apologies. Because you can skip a minute. I got you. I figured I want a refresher.
Watch the thick smoke blow in a cold breeze.
For the
under me. Gotta keep going
to hear it how it progresses.
How the fuck I'm gonna laugh when I can't breathe? After that bag trying to go green, roll blown like a staff and it's all Keef. I'm stuck in those eyes, you heavenly. I'm not the guy I'm meant to be. About to retire the industry, rebuild from the ground, make it all right. So high up in the sky, we can fly kites. And a lot, get down on the first time, I've it in my mind out of sight. But about mine, running out of time, trying to find a way to daylight. Falling out of line, but you're there, so I feel fine. Confident in my state of bliss, and my pills are mixed to this. Taking pics, you taking vids. Well, I'm still your friend, because in the end, they got love to give. Bitch, I made the list, I'm a favorite pick. Putting all my chips, coming out with tits. You shot and missed, you can try again, but best pitch a 10, cause I came to win.
Don't know why you wanna leave. One day I'm gonna be a damn prodigy, and if I don't, then we'll see. One day you'll feel that apology. I need out this place, can't bring myself to that change. Through all these stressful days, I'll just smoke some to the face. I feel left at the back door, on a third benzo, but I need more. Done lost my count, but it's past 4. Thought I made it out, but I'm still torn. Nothing is tougher than beating the chills. Love when the shit is too real. Scaling a mountain on legs made of steel, but I'm still running from bills. Pour on my drink and I put in a pill. Credit my plug for the kill. Rolling up bills, crushing my shit so I chill. That's just the way that I deal. Blue packed one up and I'm geeked. Found a way to life, so take heed. Really don't need help, I got me. Gonna rake in the bands while I sleep.
Fucking that bitch again, yeah, did it again. Fucking a friend of friends. I got the bands, I got that shit in my hands.
Mad atmospheric. I love it, guys. Wow. I wanted to hear it from the top. So I can see.
Certified bang.
I want to hear how it progressed everything in context. But really sick track again. Apologies, Sir Kage. I didn't realize, like, it never notified me. But in the future, just use the premium music submission form that you have access to, so it'll avoid all confusion in the future. And that shout out to anyone else who also becomes a Discord subscriber. Use the premium submission form, so I just know right off the bat. But super sick track. Like, love the ambiance. The what's it called? The, as stated before, everything else. As far as critiques go for the progression, I wish that the beat progressed even more so. So I don't know if you guys happen to be from like the tri-state area, but I would definitely listen to some authentic Jersey Club records and listen to how they progress, because with the instrumental,
I feel left at the back door, like, on a third benzo, but I need more.
Usually there's like a sort of like a clap or like a break beat kind of drum that'll come in. So like you'll have like a different sort of element come where the track is at the peak of where it's supposed to be. So the track it's like building, but I was waiting for it to kind of give that release, and it didn't quite do that as far as the production goes. So Matrix beatboxing, let's go. Sometimes I'd be using that in tracks, man. But what I would say is I would make the track like have a sort of end point. So when you're doing all these things, like, you have to always think like, what is the story of your track and how is it going to end, is how I always like to think it. And sometimes what it really helps me is, like, as stupid as it sounds, is I will take a piece of paper like this and I will literally draw a point of like, what do I want this track to do, and just be like I want this to be like this. This pen kind of sucks, sorry guys, but I want it to go like up. I'll get a better pen real quick. So I'd be like, I want it to go up, and then it peaks and then goes down to a chill point, and then it builds higher than what it was. So like something like that, as stupid as that looks. But like, what I would say is, like, always try to have this sort of story where there's like a end point and you want to be able to reach where it is. So what I would say is when you are building, make sure to have that drop. Really. And maybe you brought in it could be possible that you might just need a different 808 as well to also drive it a little bit more. So a really good like 808 sample that's really sick for a Jersey club. Now here's like some of the sauces. If you have Splice, DJ Unique, she's actually from New Jersey. She has a sample pack, and there's an 808 samples that she has that's like super sick for Jersey Club that cuts through the mix like crazy. So I would recommend.
But I'm still running from bills. Pour on my drink and I put in a pill. Credit my plug for the kill.
I feel like that's really one of the main things is the bass needs to be driving the track more. And it's like right now the ambient feeling, like the ambient instruments are really cool and all, but they feel like they're too loud in the mix if you're going for a more authentic feel. So I would bring down the atmospheric things to give some room for that bass, that 808 that you want to really come and really drive the track. And personally, what I would do is I would also have a chorus in the track as well. I'm a sucker for choruses. So
because in the end they got love to give, bitch, I made the lid out display.
But you both killed this record. Like shout out to you guys.
This was a certified banger.
Thought I made it out, but I'm still torn. Nothing is tougher than beating the chills. Love when the shit is too real. I sleep.
And maybe even adding like some claps so it isn't just like a on 3, it's like a clap 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 instead. Because that can really help drive it.
Myself to that change.
Clap, 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 clap,
I'll just smoke some to the face.
Boom, 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 boom. And maybe even play with the rhythm. Like what I like to do when I've done some Jersey Club tracks before is like what I'll do is I'll play around with the bass rhythms. So it's not just boom, 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 boom the whole time. Like sometimes it's fun to go boom, ba-da-doom, boom, 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 ba-da-boom, boom, 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 to really vary the rhythm as well.
Done lost my count, but it's past 4. Thought I made it out, but I'm still torn. Nothing is tougher than beating the chills. Love when the shit is too real.
But that's really it as far as the track goes. Really, I think I covered everything in the initial one as well. So again, apologies. But that's everything as far as critiques go. Thank you for submitting, Sir Kage.
This was a certified
Seriously.
banger.
Crazy records. I'm glad I got to hear the full one of that one. We listened to Swisho's already. We're going to take a listen to the next one, which is Galapagos. Sorry if I said that wrong. Hallways. Let's take a listen. Dum, 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 dum. Nice. That is the woman in 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Let's get it.
This was a certified
Wow.
banger.
No, that definitely, yeah. Mans was feeling it. Yeah, man. No, this was a vibe. I absolutely loved it. Wow. Nice work, man. Honestly, what I would say, as far as like the track goes, love the guitars. They're definitely real. I love always hearing some real instruments and whatnot in tracks. And the drums were nice. It's like I wish it had some vocals. Like, I don't know if you sing or maybe you want to work with someone who sings, but definitely, like, what's it called? Hit up the collabs if you aren't in our server. Like, hit up the collab section and, like, work with some people. Like, seriously, that was really, really sick. That was wavy. I agree, 8th Dan. Honestly, like, these records are crazy, guys. As far as, and I love that sound effect too, right before it drops down to the, what's it called? To it just being guitars. It almost like a water drop effect. So I love the creativity with that. It's very interesting as far as the picture choice that you had for the track. Like, it's something that it seems so, like, your picture seems very, like, dark and ominous. So I wonder, like, what you would picture as far as lyrics for the track. So that's definitely something that I would love to hear. As far as critiques go, what I would say is just watch the timing on the guitars, because every now and then the guitar timing is just a little bit late. Especially, it's more obvious like during like the latter half of the minute 30 that we were listening to. There was like a part in specific, so just watch the timing on that. The drums, what I would also work on is messing with the velocity. So what I would say is I would mess with the what's that called? The velocity with the drums, because it will help with the making your drums feel like they're realer, because the drums at the moment sound very artificial. So if you mess with your velocity, and that goes for even trap drums, guys, so take the time when you were doing productions to really mess with your velocity so they aren't all the same, because if they are all the same, your track will start to sound a little bit robotic. So make sure that you take the time and just adjust it, even if it's just like a little bit, so that some hits are just a little harder than the other ones, because that'll give it a more human feel, which will give your beats more swing. So, and that goes for all genres. So really, that's all I have to say. Thank you for submitting. Hallways, let's get it. Next we have Mazes by again, I apologize if I get your names wrong, guys. Evrati, let's get it. Evrati. Some crazy bangers today. Holy crap, guys.
I went through some dark times, I was in a maze. I don't know which way to take, there is only one escape. Yeah, but it's okay. The trials of my life made me who I am today. I pour emotions in a beat, it gives me peace of mind. Yeah, no matter what I do, yeah, I'll always be on time. And I don't know who to trust in this maze we call life. One moment you're good, the next they stab you with a knife. All of these mazes, mysterious spaces, going through stages, just trying to find how to make it out. I don't even know if I make it out. Oh, yeah, angel on my shoulder and the devil on the other. Keep telling me lies, so I really start to wonder. I ponder, are you really on my side or is that just a cover? Yeah, how we on the same team? You taking me down under? Yeah, yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Heard the beat and I started floating. Yeah, I must be too.
That is the woman in 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Mazes, let's get it. Wow, this the what's it called? Love the vocals, man. Holy crap. Today is nuts. My favorite part, I think, is the track is definitely the where is it?
Always be on knife.
Right here.
These mazes, mysterious spaces, going through stages, just trying to find how to make it out.
I wish you kept that melody going on already, like dun, 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 dun. Like that's super catchy. Like I wish it happened like again right after, like dun 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 again dun 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 dun. And you can change it up a little bit at the last half. But that's what I would recommend as far as melody goes, but I loved it, man. Super creative with the sound design. I did not expect that when I pressed play to be like the sound, the synths that came through, and the vocal flows was really sick as well. what I would say as far as critiques go is like some of the drum elements could use a little bit more balancing, I would say, and your arrangement as far as the track goes could be a little bit more solidified. It was a little bit confusing what the sections were, whereas like when tracks you want to be able to kind of get it right away. So and I feel like I personally, that one synth, like I would make it a little bit less bright and in your face. So personally, what I would do is I would personally put a filter on it just to kick some of the highs out, or maybe even take a high shelf if you don't want to go that drastic and just carve out some of those high frequencies to warm it up. Plus, it'll give your vocals room and it will help your vocals cut through.
I went through some dark times, I was in a maze. I don't know which way to
Oh, Sir Kage, wait. Oh, I could not wait to show you guys what we got in store. Oh my goodness.
take. There is only one escape. Yeah, but it's okay.
But that's really it.
Of my life made me who I am today.
That's really it. That's really all I have to say. Thank you for submitting Mazes. Really sick track. Like seriously, guys. Holy crap. Also, if you found any of this reviews helpful, be sure to subscribe. If you like what you've heard and any of the advice that you've heard so far, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And what's it called? Yeah, if you want any, if you want to join like a super sick community, join the Discord server. There's lots of chill people, artists, literal artists, and cover artists, like anything, you name it. Super sick vibes there. So thank you everyone for coming out. We still have some more records, but yes, we're in the Space Sound Records, just a little something. We are in the process of doing something, a little something. We got a lot of records ready to go, so I cannot wait to show you guys what we have in the pipeline. Just making sure that it's official yet. That's all I'm gonna say. But going on, we got Monsoon by I'm sorry again pronouncing the name Xaleid. I'm a press play. Let's get it. I don't mind streaming on Discord some stuff. I always love these like Reese basses. Okay. That was the 1 minute and 30 mark. Good job. Holy crap, today, what the hell? This stream is nuts. Oh my god. Holy crap. 4th track? No way in hell is that your 4th track. Damn. Damn. That, what's like, I meant to play further. That was your 4th track? You're kidding. Wow. Great job, honestly. Love the synths, and I love the way that the drums, like, it sounded very clean. Like, the drums cut through, and the vocal chops that you had going on in the background were really nice touches. And when it dropped, it felt like it was dropping, which is good. That's usually a mistake a lot of people make when things drop. But this time, like, it wasn't like a drop, but it was like still, it felt like when it was building up, that there was that sort of release there. So really cool. as far as arrangement wise. As far as critiques go, what I would say in the track here, what I would say is lower the hi-hats a little bit, because the hi-hats are pretty high in the mix. So I would raise those a little bit. Personally, what I wish what would happen is if you had like a snare that just went like for when it did drop, like boom. And maybe have like an 808 there for the drop to just that's just more personal taste. You don't need to have an 808. The respace is totally fine. But love that. Love these super like ambient effects that you had going on. There's really not much for me to say. Thank you for submitting, Monsoon. Let's get it. Yeah, sound selection is fantastic. If that's your 4th track, your sound selection's that good, like you're going places. And it was 9 hours ago. That's crazy. Next we have the Echodolls Vipers. Let's get it. Shout out to Sam in the chat. Let's get it. That's the woman in 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Let's get it. Wow.
This was a certified banger.
Echodolls Vipers. Thank you for submitting. Wow, what a sick track. I love it. What's it called? The vocal melodies were very pop punk. Like they gave me very pop punk vibes for the vocal melodies, and the synths like really cool. Like it had like a nice cool like kind of like a noise texture on top, which gave it like a nice unique characteristic. Like. And the what's it called? The drums were nice. They were knocking, and it was interesting that just the sound selection alone was really well done. Like, really, there isn't much for me to say. What I would say, as far as critiques go, what I would say is raise the vocals. The vocals are a little bit buried, so I would raise the vocals up a hair because I feel like the vocals are just a tad bit low. So like a good like 3 dB should be suffice. And then what I would say is your drums could definitely knock a little bit more. So that could be drum bus compression that you could mess around with, maybe some parallel processing. Because sometimes if your drums aren't knocking hard enough, what I like to do is I like to also do parallel processing for your drums. It's not just a vocals thing. So if you guys want to experiment with parallel processing, another really cool thing to do is have a parallel process track. This is what I like to do sometimes with drums, is have your drum bus sending out to another bus, and what you would do is for that bus you would compress all of the drums at the same time, like a lot, but have the attack on the medium to slow side so that you get those transients coming through still. And then what I would do is I always put some distortion or some heavy saturation on that and then mix it with the regular vocals, and that really gets some punch into your drums. So try that out, Echodolls. Let's get it. So thank you for submitting. Wow, super sick track, guys. Wow. Next we have the last two for the night. We got 8th Dan Back Home. Let's get it. Yeah. Nice. Love it. So that is the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting.
This was a certified banger.
Wow. Okay, guys, bring in your A game this time around. Holy crap. I mean, you guys usually do, but like, I definitely hear like an improvement. Like, holy crap. Like from everyone, like the drums are just knocking in your face. I love the sample he had in the background was really well done, and the swing of the drums definitely was working incongruent with the sample and not fighting against it. So really cool track. Really the only critiques that I would say is the drums are a little bit loud in comparison to your sample that you have going on, so I would lower the drums overall, and then what's it called, have your mastering just kind of balance them all together, or your mix bus compression. This is honestly really sick. Love the interesting your choice as far as the album artwork. That is not what I would picture in my head, but I love to see it because it's really cool to hear other people's visions and whatnot, and some of these chords were really sick. I would even bring some of that bass guitar. That bass guitar could come up a little bit. That like, I love that. Oh, okay. It was an AI generator. That's funny. It's fascinating. And I love that it has its highs and lows too. Like there's clear parts. Get a vocalist on this 8th end, please. Like I would like, I don't know if it's a rapper, maybe like an R&B act would be crazy on this record. Some crazy stacks and harmonies. That'd be nuts. What's it called? Sounds like an intro for a young kid from New York City from the 80s or 90s. I love that. That is so cool. Hey, thank you. Let's get it. And then last but not least, we have Chrome Rims 2. Oh, we got part two by Rubixx. Let's get it. This is the final track for the night. Thank you, everyone. Let's get it. What's it called? Actually, wait, there is one more. I think someone, yeah, there is one more. Someone submitted while we were here. So one more after Rubixx, then we'll be done for the night. Let's take a listen.
Check out this dope shit, man.
Okay. Interesting. So that's the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. Let's go.
This was a certified banger.
Rubixx Chrome Rims 2. Let's get it. Loved it. It's funny because I definitely see the vision as far as the album artwork with the what's that called? The processing that you had in the beginning of the track for all the drums and everything. Like it has that very VHS kind of like crunchy, like white noisy kind of feel to it. And I definitely get that vibe from the cover art that you have as well, so killed it regarding that. It does feel like an older movie, what's it called, processing. So it's really interesting that kind of like, what's it called, I feel like that might even be like VHS noise in the background. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rubixx. But really love the production, like really like the drum swing just right off the bat just grabs your attention, and then when it turns into that funk section with those 808 cowbells, the pitched ones, like it still maintains that swing, which is really nice. It's vinyl noise, sick. So love to hear that. What I would say is, as far as critiques go, what I would say is, as far as the vocal samples, you gotta raise those up, Rubixx. Don't be afraid to have those vocal samples more up in the mix. I would definitely have those louder because there is no vocal elements other than that. So you definitely want those to be more upfront and in your face, unless you're going for having an artist be on top of it as well. So then you could have it more tucked. But if you're looking for this to be, this is the release, this is the final, definitely raise those vocal chops up even more. Everything was made on my phone. Oh wow, damn, Rubixx, okay, I see you. But definitely like raise those vocals up by like a good like 7-8 dB, so they're up front. And really all that, like other than that, like the snare drum too, like because it's like that, those kicks are like like distorting like loud, and your snare drum's like like you want to kind of get a balance between the two. So definitely raise your snare drum up in the mix like a decent amount to kind of not I would also lower your kick drums a little bit, but raise your snares so that they what's it called, mix, that they're more cohesive in volume wise, because you kind of generally speaking want your kicks and your snares to sit roughly the same volume and peak roughly the same volume to really get the maximum amount of impact. So that's what I would say. Really sick work, Rubixx. Thank you for submitting. Wow, guys, we have one more track left. It is a SoundCloud track we have from, what's it called? Actually, wait, hold on. This might be a no. Okay, I accidentally dragged a one. Okay, we have a YouTube track. I lied. So this is called, oh, we got Logan. Okay, let's get it. With Painkiller. Is this you? Like as far as the vocals? Oh, different Logan?
Мне кексик, плиз, сочный бизнес близкими напиться виски, а либо бисквит. Возьми поливом легким, брызгай на дисках записаны. Год басаны, год шансов. Запахом по комнате навеяло. Я растекаюсь по тебе, но не намеренно. С моего стиля выпадет каждый Icylemon. Painkiller, сладким запахом по комнате навеяло. Я растекаюсь по тебе, но не намеренно. С моего стиля выпадет каждый Icylemon.
Is this Russian? That is the 1 minute and 30 mark. Thank you for submitting. We got Logan. Not the Logan in the chat, but it's funny because it says that they found what's it called in the thing. It says YouTube stream, so that they must be in here. But shout out to Logan. Let's get it. I believe this is Russian, right? This looks Russian, or it's definitely Slavic language. But what's it called? Really sick work. Wow. Like, loved especially the hook melody towards the end. Loved it. Loved it. Wish I could understand what you were saying, but. Like, nice flow, and the beat with those cool like chords, the Rhodes chords that were going on, the swing of the drums, definitely like with your vocal flow, we're definitely working together. And I love your ad libs, definitely, like with the different processing. You have more reverb on your ad libs, and you have like a telephone effect there. So what I would say for critiques, what I would say is raise up the vocals in the hook section, because the vocals are so catchy that I wish that they were just a tad bit louder in the mix. So I would raise your vocals just a little bit in the mix there, and like maybe even experiment with having some widening plugins for the what's it called, for the Rhodes type instrument in the beginning. And I wish that the kick drum was just knocking a hair more, and that the bass was a little bit cleaner in the mix. Yes, I wish I can hear the bass more. On this part it seems cool. Like, there are times where the kick drum and the bass, when it's happening together, that it's a little bit like that. But really, other than that, really sick track. Thank you for submitting. That had me singing in Russian for real, though. We just didn't. Hey, no, that was really sick work, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna switch to my face. I'm sorry, guys, in advance. Hold on, I'm a noob streamer here. Don't forgive me. Don't forgive me. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you everyone for coming today on a Saturday evening, and some of you guys stay up till like 2 in the morning to watch the streams, and even later. So thank you guys so much for watching. Some bangers, like, honestly guys, like some seriously crazy records today. I love the chat. Yo, I wish that it would be really funny if I had like a sound effect of like it was like screaming every time I like zoomed in on my face, so it was like ah. But soon, like, we'll be watching for the washing machine beat soon. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. Thank you everyone for submitting today. There were some crazy records. If you guys found any of this reviews helpful, be sure to hit the like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification as well to be notified every time we go live. We are live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure, and we have the submission form early every Saturday in our Discord server, so be sure to join our Discord server to get the submission form early, to be some of the first ones to submit, and the premium submissions. So anyone who is a Discord subscriber, use the form under the premium submission form in the server. There's a channel that's only accessible to people who are Discord subscribers, so use that form instead, so I know that that you want that one to be used, because it may accidentally get mixed in with the other ones and be confused, so just use that one instead. But guys, thank you so much. It's been awesome, and yeah, peace out guys, have a good night. Thank you everyone. Bye.